So the scene starts in the upside down and we see a young Will, and it's crazy how bad this render is because literally 1 season ago we saw a young 11 and they cooked with her render. Like, bro, what happened? But anyways, the Demogorgon finds Will and he's like, hell nah, I am not going out like a chump today. And he shoots the Demogorgon and bolts out of there, and he starts climbing this big ass tree and he makes it to the top, and little bro is just praying that this thing don't find him. But bro's wishes were not answered, and this Demogorgon is on demon time and he starts climbing up the tree. Like, bro, look at how it is moving right now. Hell no, if I was in Will's shoes I would have passed out right then and there. I'm cooked. But Will has no choice but to jump, and bro hits the Jordan pose mid-air, so you would imagine he would be locked in, but no, bro gets absolutely violated by this tree. And just look at this, brother's back got shattered in a million pieces. It is over for him, and the Demogorgon takes Will to Vecna, and that's when this weirdo begins his 10-year-long plan. Like, bro,
This nigga is trash.
and we see my boy Dustin walking through the halls, and I'm not gonna lie, that trench coat is quite a peculiar choice. But that's when Andy presses Dustin and bro starts ripping his shirt, and Lucas pulls up, and you would think by the way bro was walking he was about to throw hands right then and there, but no, he just starts yapping about Erica kicking his balls. Like, brother, why couldn't they give him some decent dialogue? This is straight garbage. And we see Elle training and she beats her record time. She is locked in, but she wants to go again because she wants to get under 12:30 so she can go with Hopper on a crawl. And that's when Murray pulls up to tell Nancy and the others that the military is taking a big load of resources to the upside down, which gives them 2 hours for Hopper to execute a crawl. So Robin gets on the radio to tell the rest of the party about the crawl that night. But we see Holly and her friend playing around, and that's when this menace Derek pulls up and he starts spinning this thing fast as hell. Like, Lil Bro was really trying to get Holly to throw up last night's casserole. But after getting violated by Derek, Holly waves at someone and goes to talk to him. But her teacher sees her wandering off and she sees her talking to nobody. And she's gotta be thinking that this little girl has lost her damn mind. She's gotta be a tweaker. And Elle is telling Hopper that she got under 12:30 on her last run. But bro does not care, and Elle is like, father, please, you gotta let me go, you promised. And Hopper responds by saying, no, that is the end of this discussion. Keep asking me and I will ban you from the Egos forever. Don't play with me, boy. Like, no, you cannot take away the Egos. That right there is crossing the line. But Hopper makes his way to the military base, and that's when Lucas gives Hopper the green light and he's able to sneak his way into the carrier. My boy is just like Arkham Batman, moving in the shadows, and Hopper is swiftly making his way through the upside down. But out of nowhere the cars start crashing into each other, and this got everybody stressing. They got no clue what is going on right now. But Will gets goosebumps, so y'all know something is about to go down, and he starts seeing through the Demogorgon, and per usual this thing is absolutely cooking these soldiers. They got a 0% chance of survival. It is over for them. But after committing a massacre, the Demogorgon starts going to the Wheelers' house, and Will snaps out of it and tells Nancy that her family is about to get violated in ways that are not imaginable. So we go to Holly and she's just chilling in her room, but that's when she notices the lights starting to tweak out. Like, oh no, this is not good. And that's when this demon breaks through the roof, but Holly is smart because she tries to run away, but she does not get too far because the demo grabs her and throws her like if she was a little rag doll. Like, bro, that is wild. And while Holly is getting violated, Mrs. Wheeler is just in the bathroom dancing, and Mr. Wheeler is outside playing golf, out here practicing for Tiger Woods. But bro, y'all's daughter is getting cooked right now. Do you not hear her screaming? Y'all need to lock in for real. But Holly is able to slip out of the Demogorgon's grip and runs to her mom, and she is telling her that there's a demon in the house. But Mrs. Wheeler does not believe her until bro starts breaking the door down, and that's when she knew that they were in a real pickle now, and these two are under the water praying for this thing to go away. But lucky for them, the goat is in the house and ready for action, and Mr. Wheeler comes face to face with the Demogorgon and he starts smacking it, trying to assert his dominance. But I'm not gonna lie with y'all, brother gets packed up pretty bad. The Demogorgon really made the goat look human. This is not okay. And Mrs. Wheeler takes advantage of her hubby getting cooked and runs for it, but they do not get too far because apparently the Demogorgon can use instant transmission now. So now it's Mrs. Wheeler's turn to stand toe to toe with this Demogorgon, and since her daughter is in danger, she automatically gains a power up and starts going crazy with her wine bottle. But unfortunately her mom power ups were not enough, and Mrs. Wheeler gets defeated in a very brutal way, right in front of Holly's eyes. And that's when Nancy and Elle pull up and she sees her mother on the ground straight cooked. And they see the gate, so Nancy tells her to go. So Elle slides on behalf of the Wheelers to find Holly. And I'm not gonna lie with y'all, there is no reason why Mrs. Wheeler should have survived this brutal attack, bro. She's not even that important of a character to have this type of plot armor. All she has done in this show so far is trying to catch a case. But anyways, let me lock back in onto the plot. So Elle is looking for Holly in the upside down, but she hears something walking, so she takes some cover and prepares for battle. And she comes out and throws whoever was there, but she quickly figured out that it was just Hopper. And she tells him that Holly has been abducted and they gotta find her. So we go to Steve and Jonathan and they're cooked right now. They have lost connection to Hopper and their car battery is done for as well. These two are not having a good night. And they start arguing over Nancy because Steve is trying to give her some flowers. And I'm not gonna lie, saying this in front of her man is crazy work. But it is Jonathan Byers, there's not much to be afraid of. But that's when Mr. Henderson pulls up, and the reason why my boy's looking like Bryce Hall after his boxing match is because when he was at the graveyard, he got jumped by Andy and his boys. So now these two start arguing, and this scene is so goated just by one factor, and that's because this is where we get one of the best me pictures from 2025. And I'm not gonna lie with y'all, this is the only reason why I kept this scene in here. But we see Nancy and Mike making their way to their mom's room to see if she knows anything about Mr. What's-It. And Mrs. Wheeler starts describing him to them, and that's when she spells out the name Henry. So they already know that Holly is cooked. She is in the hands of the neighborhood weirdo. And that's when we see Henry close the door like, oh hell no, this brother needs that Freddy Krueger treatment ASAP. Brother, kidnapping children is not okay nor normal. What is wrong with you? But we go back to Hopper and Elle, and they're walking through the upside down trying to find Holly. But that's when they find the Great Wall of the Upside Down instead. And yes, that's what I'm calling it. And they try to break through the Great Wall, but they're unsuccessful. And that's when the military men pull up, and they got Dax blasting through them speakers. So that causes Elle to become disabled. She cannot move a single muscle right now. And the military men arrive, and they find nobody, so they were about to dip out. But when bro was taking a tinkle, he saw Hopper's knife. So he tells one of his men to play the nuke. Hey bro, put on that sexy red MJ remix. If this don't work, I don't know what will. And indeed, that was all they needed, because Elle starts screaming. Her ears cannot handle this torture anymore. So Hopper and the military men get into a shootout, but bro gets overwhelmed pretty quickly. But then he finds a game-changing discovery in his bag: grenades. And look at bro's face, he already knows he's about to do a madness on these bozos. I was not wrong at all. He was able to turn the tides and destroy the speakers playing that monstrosity of a song. So that's when Elle gets up and she deals with bro in a matter of seconds. She did not let her ears get violated without him feeling the repercussions. But Will is telling the others that Derek is the next victim, and the way he knows this is because he started seeing through Derek. So their plan of action is to kidnap the whole family by drugging them, which is absolutely wild, I'm not gonna lie. But hey, it has to be done. Just look at how bro is looking at Derek. Yeah, we not doing that. That's a red flag right there.
Look, some people need to be gone, bro. You know what I'm talking about? In order for shit to get better. And he's one of them.
But let me get back on track. The final step of this plan is baiting the Demogorgon and putting a tracker on it. But Hopper is currently questioning bro right here, and he's not getting much info out of him until Elle goes into his brain, and she might be worse than Arkham Batman. Well, actually, I don't know. Just by looking at bro funny, he'll leave you in a full body cast for weeks. Yeah, this is a tough one, I ain't gonna lie. But once they're done torturing bro, they think that the military may have Vecna behind this door right here. And subtle foreshadowing, but I really wish that Vecna was in there, but we all know who truly lies behind that door. But no need to crash out over this right now. We can do that later once the time comes. So Erica pulls up to Tina's house so they can commence their plan of kidnapping these bozos. And Tina is being real stubborn because she don't want to eat her pie. But that's when both parents pass out, and little bro is deadass laughing at his parents like, bro, what is wrong with this kid? He for real got issues, I'm not gonna lie. And when Tina goes to check on her parents, Erica is just standing over her looking crazy as hell. But she gets the job done, so the others are able to pull up and kidnap this family. And they also make the house Demogorgon friendly by filling up the house with traps. And once they're done with that, it doesn't take too much waiting for the demo to pull up. And this goofball really falls for every single one of their traps. And it gets violated, so it has no choice but to dip out. And they start tracking it, but we go back to the group back at the farm, and they hear some ruckus. And that's when they find Derek awake. And mind you, bro ate 2 slices of poison pie. How how is this possible? But anyways, bro took off his blindfold, and this is bad news, because this means that the Demogorgon knows where they're at right now, and it is currently making its way to violate all these goofballs. And since Derek is up now, Joyce has to try to convince bro to put his blindfold back on by telling him about the monsters, but Derek is like, that don't work, and he pushes Joyce out the way, and little bro gets on this platform, but it is too late now. Nothing matters no more because the Demogorgon has arrived, and Joyce Alright, my bad. Joyce steps up and grabs his axe, and just look at her balance. Bro, they are barbecue chicken for this Demogorgon. And when dude breaks in, Joyce has the audacity to tell it that it has to go through her. Oh my goodness, bro, this show genuinely cracks me up sometimes. And Joyce starts swinging for the fence, and she is hitting straight air, but I do not blame her for not wanting to get close. Do y'all remember how Mrs. Wheeler got done? But I do find it extremely funny how nerfed the Demogorgon is when it comes to the main cast. Here's an example of how it be moving when you don't got plot armor.
One of Satan's greatest soldiers.
Like, let's keep it a bean. Everyone in that room should be packed up as we speak, but since the demo is locked out, the others run this thing over, and my boy Dustin is geeking from the adrenaline. Like, brother, relax, you did not put any work in. And y'all know the Demogorgon is straight when it comes to the main cast, so it decides to go back to the upside down, but my boy Steve is locked in and decides to chase after it, and these two start arguing like always because Dustin started to lose signal, and Steve is too occupied right now. He does not realize that he is ramming straight into the Great Wall of the upside down, and when he sees the wall, it is too late, bro. And look, before y'all get mad at me, I know I just rambled about plot armor, but these bozos, especially these two in the front, should not be with us right now. But all I'm going to say is I'm just going to add this to the plot armor count. And we go to Holly, and she is vibing and having fun until she hears the doorbell ring, and when she goes to investigate, she doesn't find anyone, but she does notice that the mail has been delivered, so she goes to see what it is, and it's a note from Henry telling her to meet up with him, but she sees that she has to go through the forest, and Henry specifically told her not to go in the forest. So Holly got no clue what to do until she grabs the figure that Mike gave her, and that gives her the courage to go fly out the nest, and she heads straight into the forest. And after a minute of walking, she comes across this mysterious looking cave, and she sees someone in there, so she starts running back to Henry's house, but she ends up tripping like an absolute goober, so she has no choice but to hide and to wish for the best. And when Holly thinks she's about to get 10 across the ass for leaving the house, it turns out that it was just Max chasing her, so she takes Holly to her, let's just call it her Max cave, and she starts telling Holly the truth about the place they're in right now and how it's a prison. And we go back to the group in Hawkins, and they gotta figure out a plan on rescuing the kids because the military has snatched them up, and that's when Mike tells them that they don't gotta sneak in there, they can just send Derek since he's the only kid who wasn't taken away. And we see Derek approaching the base, and they accept bro with open arms, and he contacts Joyce telling her that he is in and is going to start the mission. Not gonna lie, this is embarrassing. These military men are getting fooled by delightful Derek, but we see Kryptonite breaking out of his confinements, and this is not good at all. Like, bro, why couldn't they just kill him? He gave them all the info he could possibly give out. He is useless now. But Hopper and Elle are scoping out the base, and after bickering about how they're going to approach this situation, Hopper is going to let Elle jump over the fence, so she approaches the base, and she's able to time the lightning with her landing, but when she goes for the second jump, she miscalculated it and actually gets caught. But this bozo really stood no chance and gets dealt with swiftly, and Elle opens up the door for Hopper. And we go back to the Hawkins group, and we see Mike and Will talking, and I'm not gonna lie with y'all, nothing important really happens in this scene, but because of this little push right here, the internet went berserk trying to ship these two. Like, bro, this dude got a whole ass girlfriend that he is on a leash for. Have y'all honestly forgotten how much of an L man Mike has been since honestly season 3? Like, why are we forcing this concept so much? It is genuinely mind-boggling. And here are some edits of these two theoretically being together, and all I gotta say is,
Get the fuck out of here! That shit garbage, nigga!
and Kryptonite is banging on the door. Bro is trying to get his get back ASAP, and we see Hopper right now trying to get through this door, but Dr. K starts blasting that Will Smith freestyle, and Elle is like, no, not this torture again, Lord help me please. And all the frauds are making their way to Hopper and Elle, and I swear, bro, Dr. K is trying to be her so bad, because why does she have a little ass pistol? Like, brother, just grab an AR, I'm sure you got a whole arsenal in there. But Kryptonite thinks that he found Hopper in a transparent closet. Like, bro, y'all cannot be this dumb. Obviously, bro didn't hide in a transparent closet. And Hopper takes advantage of the stupidity and gets into a shootout with Kryptonite. But bro gets cornered, so he has no choice but to run the ones. And Hopper hits him with a nice body shot. But Kryptonite lands a two-piece combo, causing Hopper to slam bro on his cranium. But that's when dude pulls out a knife, because nowadays you cannot run a fair squabble with people. That's why this dude is a fraud. But Hopper evens out the playing field by slamming a glass of chemicals on bro's face and then slams him through this door. And Hopper knocks him out. And this is starting to get embarrassing, bro. Kryptonite is officially 0-2. But that's when Dr. K activates the tentacles. And it starts choking Hopper out, and she's trying to get some info out of bro. But y'all know he is not breaking. He got tortured by the KGB. This is nothing for bro. And Elle walks towards them, and Dr. K thinks this is sweet. But nah, Elle is locked in and stabs her arm. But that's all she does, because then she gets manhandled by a 50-year-old woman. Maybe she's not as locked in as I thought she was. And Hopper is able to break out his confinements, and this could have ended terribly. But Dr. K is the biggest fraud out here, so I'm not surprised she missed an easy target running straight at her. But anyways, Hopper knocks her silly ass out and gets her key card. And he starts making his way to the big door, and bro's life is flashing before his eyes because he thinks he's gonna have to blow himself up. But nah, he turns off the speakers and opens the door for Elle, and that's when she finds her long lost sister. And bro, this is when they opened Pandora's box. But that's all I'm going to say for now. And we go back to the group in Hawkins, and Joyce gives Derek the signal to start the escape plan. And everything is going smooth until this random ass child goes into the bathroom and actually snitches on them. Like, bro, can't you see important business is going on in there? What is wrong with you, child? And Derek, Will, and Mike are trying to hold the door shut, but they get overpowered, and that's when everybody else gets caught. And to my surprise, Sullivan handles the situation quite calmly. But that's when Will gets goosebumps and tells the others that the Demogorgons are here. And excuse me, did brother just say Demogorgons with an S? Oh yeah, they are done for. And Will was not lying at all, because these soldiers start getting jumped by 3 Demogorgons. And to make everything worse, Lucas starts getting chased by 1 in the tunnels. And Murray and Robin are getting chased by 3 of them. Like, bro, Vecna is not playing around right now. And the military base is straight chaos right now. And Mike and the others are behind this car praying that they don't get violated. And unlucky for them, they get cornered by 2 of these things. And they start burning them. And since Will is so close to the hive mind, he's also feeling the pain. But that's when Vecna decides to pull up. And thank goodness bro changed his fit, cause that first one was straight garbage. But bro gets straight up business and starts cooking the military. And dude is just getting aura points like it's nothing. Look at him. He is hitting the Conor McGregor on these fools. And the demos are able to catch up with the kids, and Lucas just knows that he is not making it out of there in one piece. And Joyce gets up acting like she about to do something to bro. Like, did you not see how the military just got done? Like, sit down, little boy. But Vecna was thinking the same as me and just throws her ass to the side. He is here for William. And Vecna shows Will the kids being snatched up and his boy getting cooked. And he tells Will, I walk shit down, boy. And then casually dips out like nothing happened. And Will sees this Demogorgon about to do his day 1 dirty. So Mike closes his eyes because he thinks he's done for. But then he sees the demo frozen in the air. And that's when we see Will with his hand out. And I'm not going to lie, I never thought that William would ever give me goosebumps out of pure hypeness, but brother has done it. And bro grabs the demos that were gonna do Robin and Lucas dirty, and he snaps their limbs, just how Vecna does to his victims. And bro is looking cold as hell. Like, someone go get the camera and take a flick of bro. This is the coldest he will ever look in his life. And we see Henry taking the kids to his crib, and just saying that out loud sounds crazy. And bro, thank goodness I'm not in this universe, because children just get kidnapped left, right, and center, and anyone that's older than 12 just gets eliminated from this life. There is absolute no safety in this universe, bro. But Max and Holly are going through her memories with Henry until they find themselves at the school. That's when Holly peeps at the middle part of the spinny thing is blue when it's supposed to be yellow, and that's where they find the house attack memory, and Holly already getting PTSD from it. She is cooked. And we go back to the group in Hawkins, and they come up with a plan to electrocute one of the dead demos back to life to activate the particles so Will can tap into the hive mind from right there. And it works because Will taps in and he tells the others that Henry is hunting down Max and Holly. And speaking of them, we go back with them, and poor little Holly has to witness her mother get absolutely violated again. But they find the exit. But when they were about to dip out, Henry finds them, and bro doesn't hide who he really is no more. He turns into Vecna. So that's how you know this shit is not sweet no more. And bro starts choking the life out of Max. And real life her is actually dying right now, but my boy Will comes in clutch last second and breaks Vecna's leg and yells at Max to get out of there. But Henry has had enough of these mind games, and he puts bro in a coma. But we see Steve and them go to the lab because Dustin believes that the center of the Great Wall is there. And there's a lot of tension between both groups. This is not good. They all need some therapy. But Jonathan is able to make an interesting discovery and sees that things are melting right now. And Nancy and Jonathan actually find the exotic matter that keeps the upside down stable. But these bozos do not know any better, so Nancy shoots it because she thinks this will stop Vecna. But no, this just causes the upside down to start tweaking out. And we see Hopper and them struggling to survive right now because of Nancy's choices. But that's when a gate is revealed and Elle says that she can clear a path for them. And she does her thing, but for some reason it doesn't show them escaping the upside down, which is kind of weird, but they do make it. But that's when Holly sees bro coming and he is furious. He cannot believe he just got whooped by Will Byers. Not gonna lie, I would be mad too. And bro is telling Holly if she doesn't come back with him, he will have no choice but to hurt Max. And Max is like, I'm right here, you bozo. Oh, but you're too chicken to come in a stupid cave. Ha ha ha. Man, you know what? You right. I'll talk to y'all later. Ha ha ha. Ain't no way bro really folded over a cave. That is diabolical. And we go with Will, and Vecna starts pressing bro about his powers, and he tells Will that his are stronger. He just built different. And he tells Will that he's gonna spy for him one more time and he's gonna find Max for him. And bro does his thing, and Will, like a good puppy, followed orders because he gets the drop on Max for Vecna, so he sends his demos for her. But Lucas and Robin go to the hospital because Robin figured out that Max is not in a coma. She is in a trance state, and since both Holly and Max are in Vecna's mind, they should know everything they need to know to stop bro. And that's when we go back to these two trying to find a way out of the cave memory. And that's when Holly realizes the cap for her telescope has the shape of Max's cave entrance. So they go back to see what they can find, but nothing is there. But that's when Holly almost gets eliminated from this life because the ground below her broke. But they do discover the cave mind. Now we go to the breakup scene, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. I do not care for these two in the relationship. And y'all can go back to my older videos and y'all will see that I am not lying about this. And if you're asking why, the simple answer is I just never really been invested in these two and their side plots throughout the show, except in season 1. Their side plot was alright in that season, and Nancy in particular, I feel like she always be doing too much. Like the walk him down Nancy thing, that got really old real quick for me. I ain't gonna lie with y'all. But we go back with Max and Holly making their way through the cave mine, and they come across bro right here, and he is wounded. But that's when a young Henry shows up, and little bro is dead ass just trying to help this dude. But this goofball shoots him like, brother, he does not work for the government. He is simply just a Boy Scout. And bro is genuinely out of it because he's trying to finish the job, and Henry has no choice but to defend himself. And he starts cooking bro with a rock. Hey man, he did ask for it. I'm not gonna lie with y'all. And we see Eleven looking for Will in the tank, and she's able to find him no problem and freeze him. But he tells her that Vecna knows where Max is at right now and is sending his dogs to get her. So Elle tells the others that they gotta dip out right now. And we see a demo dog walking in the hospital hall. And it may be too late now because the only line of defense Max got is Robin and Vicky. Like, ain't no way, bro. And the demos are making their way to Max. And yes, I would definitely be adding this to a plot armor count. But Robin tells Lucas about the ambush they're receiving through the intercom. And my boy is locked in because when the demos get to the room, he's already at the elevator. And they do find bro pretty quickly, but Lucas neutralizes the threat by kicking it out of there. And we see Mrs. Wheeler getting up, which I don't even know how she got the strength to walk right now. But she sees a gas tank and she's thinking, oh yeah, get back time. They do not know what's about to hit them. And we go back to Lucas carrying Max, running for his life, and he ends up meeting up with Robin and Vicky. And they got no choice but to hide because the demo dogs have found them. And Robin tells Lucas that he has to turn off the music. She is not trying to die. And as soon as these things were about to get the jump of the century, they hear something moving around in the dryer machine. And when they go to investigate the noises, they get kaboomed out of there. And we go back to Max and Holly, and they're able to make it big enough hole to fit through. But these bozos, and I'm being deadass, I'm not playing with y'all, start yapping for 5 minutes and 55 seconds. Like, bro, this is not yip yapping time. Y'all gotta put some pep in your step. But after all that yapping, they finally start running. And I'm not going to lie with y'all, I would have not been mad if Henry caught their ass lacking right there, bro. They were asking for it. And Max is finally able to open her eyes, and everybody is super emotional right now, as they should be. There is no need for comedy right now. Let's just all be happy that Max survived a gruesome Vecna attack. And that's when the rest of the party pull up, and Max tells them that Vecna will not be happy with this and will be looking to get it back in blood. And we see Holly waking up, and she's able to escape, but Vecna sees her trying to escape, so she has no choice but to dip out and to wish for the best. And Holly's able to find a rift on accident and goes through it. But the problem here is that the abyss flips to the sky of the upside down, so her little ass is just free falling through the air. And we go back with the group in Hawkins, and Erica tells Lucas that Mr. Clark was able to locate the others in the upside down. So the party makes their way to the lab, but even though they have located Dustin, they cannot communicate with bro. And all they picked up was that they found Holly, but that is straight cap. They have not found nobody. And because of this false statement, the party in Hawkins gets the courage to go back into the upside down and meet up with the rest of the party in there, and they're able to reunite with the lost ones. And Nancy tells them about Holly and how Vecna did not let her escape. And we see poor Sullivan all bandaged up, and he's telling Dr. K about the massacre that Vecna executed. And Kryptonite starts crashing out because he doesn't know what to do no more. And bro makes a very big mistake by dissing Dr. K right in her face, and she does not let that slide. Listen here, boy, I got more testosterone than you, so I would zip it before I violate you in front of the people. Oh, whoa. Me personally, I would never let that type of disrespect slide. But yet again, me and bro are not the same person. And the party are talking about their next plan of action, but that's when Max tells them that Vecna's goal is to merge the abyss and the normal world together. And everybody starts arguing with Hopper because nobody likes his plan, which is crashing a chopper into the abyss. Which, yeah, that plan is straight bunts, I'm not gonna lie. But that's when Steve gets an idea, and he tells the others that his plan is letting Vecna move the abyss and the normal world together until they reach the top of the radio tower in the upside down. And that's when El stops bro in his tracks by getting into his mind. And the people on top of the tower make their way into the abyss and kill Vecna. And the final step of this plan is to blow up the exotic matter and finish his 10-year-long story for once and for all. And we see Elle and Kali doing some image training, and Kali's asking Elle if she's down to be a sacrificial lamb with her, because she says as long as they're alive, this will never end. And bro, I just cannot understand the fact that they brought back a character that no one cares for just to make her even more unlikable. Like, brother, I am low-key thinking that the Duffer Brothers were in a whole different universe when writing this season. But this is where we get Will confessing his love for Mike, and the Byler fans finally get what they have been wishing for. And we see these bozos putting belt to ass on the military base. Like, that is wild. Getting handed 2 L's back to back is crazy work. But we gotta talk about the fact that Nancy and Hopper just committed federal crimes by killing all these soldiers. Like, bro, I swear this show be tweaking sometimes. But anyways, the party's able to make it into the upside down and arrive at the lab. And Max goes into a trance state, so that's when she meets up with Elle and Kali, and they find Vecna and get in his mind. And we see the other group get on top of the radio tower, and they see the abyss starting to come down, and they cannot believe what they're witnessing right now. And they peep that the needle is not aligning with the rift, so that means they're cooked if Elle and them don't get some pep in their step. And Dustin is stressed right now, and bro got every reason to be tweaking because the abyss are squishing the tower, and my boy Steve ends up rolling off of it, and the screen goes black, so we don't know if bro really fell off or not. Like, this is some crazy anticipation. But we all know that the Duffers never stand on business, and Steve gets saved by Jonathan.
Fake. I knew it.
And if I'm being real with y'all, I 100% expected Steve to survive this. Like, bro, if they would have committed to this, I would have been in genuine shock, which is why they should have done it. But it seems that the Duffers are allergic to killing off characters. But Elle and them stop Henry from continuing his evil plans, and bro is furious. He was so close to executing his plan, but these meddling kids don't let him take over the world in peace. So Henry asks Elle where the kids are at, and bro is wasting zero time. You know what? I'm just gonna make my job easier and go inside your little peanut head. So bro was able to figure out everything in a matter of seconds. And we see the others going into the abyss, and it's kind of crazy that there's not even one Demogorgon in sight. But anyways, after a little bit of walking, they find Vecna's lair, and Will confirms that that is where the kids are at. And we see Hopper chilling, but that's when bro starts seeing things, and Vecna is showing the conversation that Kali and Elle had about sacrificing themselves. And bro starts tweaking out because Vecna starts yapping in his head, and he pulls up, and Hopper being locked in, he does not hesitate and shoots bro. But it turns out that it was just an illusion as well. And Hopper sees that the tank is leaking, and when he opens it, he sees Elle bleeding out, and out of pure desperation, Hopper breaks the tank, causing the three girls to get out of Vecna's mind. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I actually thought Elle got cooked right here. They got me, bro, fair enough. But anyways, Hopper starts pressing Elle about her final game plan of being a sacrificial lamb, and bro tells her if she does not go with the others back to Hawkins, he will not blow up the upside down. And that's when Kali pulls out a gun on bro. And to make this scene even funnier, Hopper is not even worried at all. Bro really tells her to pull the trigger, and guess what she did? Absolutely nothing. All those theatrics just to get humbled. But that's when Murray tells Hopper about Kryptonite and his men pulling up, and they're not playing around because they're blasting some trash music that neutralizes Elle and Kali. And bro, this dude Hopper is funny as hell because bro picked up Elle and left Kali without even acknowledging her. But Elle was like, you're out of your damn mind, go get my sister right now. So Hopper does his thing, but when he was about to rescue Kali, Kryptonite pulls up and knocks my boy out. And he tells Hopper if he doesn't tell him where Elle is at, he will smirk Kali right then and there. And brother, go ahead, give us that miracle, don't even hesitate. Alright, my fault. Kali nods to Hopper saying no, don't tell him nothing. So Hopper pulls out the derrick and tells him to eat his fat one. And Murray's out here actually being useful and blows up the chopper that's blasting Sexy Red. So that's when Elle comes in and wipes out the room in seconds, and she does Kryptonite the worst because she makes him shoot himself. And now I'm sure she's happy she did that to bro because she sees Kali on the floor bleeding out. Don't worry, sister, you got it back in blood, and the way you did, bro, was immaculate to watch. Goodbye, young one. And this is where Kali has met her fate. And we see Henry going in the cave mine looking for Holly and the other children, but that's when bro gets ambushed, and Henry not about to let a child just violate him like that, so he throws her out the way and knocks her out. But that's when bro starts reliving his biggest trauma, and dude is absolutely petrified right now. And Henry watches his little self catch his first body, and bro is in genuine disbelief on the heinous action he just committed. And we see how Henry got his powers, and Will tries to bring him out the dark side, but brother's like, nah, that don't work. Brother, I was born to be a bad guy. Now you will feel our wrath. And that's when the physical version of the mind flayer pulls up. And bro, these goobers are actually thinking with their heads and run away from this behemoth of a thing. And my boy Dustin gets stripped, and you would think, oh, this might be the end of Dustin. Nope. Lucas is able to save him in time, so they continue running, but the mind flayer is locked in because he traps these bozos. He's not letting them get away this time. And when it's about to eat his dinner, Elle comes in last minute to save the day, and she runs towards this thing, and the mind flayer must be thinking he about to get an easy snack. But no, Elle makes a hole in his chest and gets inside. She does not waste any time because she disconnects Vecna, causing bro to fall right on his face. Like, I swear bro, they be doing everything to make him look like an absolute goofball. And Mike is telling the others that they gotta help Elle out, and Robin is thinking the exact same thing as us right now. How on earth are y'all supposed to help when this thing is the size of Godzilla? That just don't make sense. So Dustin tells the others that they need to flank it and hit its weak points. Like, brother, what weak points? Look at this creature. And we go back to these two, and Vecna is like, I'm telling you, you do not want to smoke, little girl. And these two start their rematch, and Elle barely weaved out the way of this attack. Her life definitely flashed before her eyes, but she's trying to get some lip back, so she gets some airtime, but she gets slammed on her belly. And I've actually tripped and landed on my belly, and it does not feel good, bro. I was genuinely suffocating. But anyways, cause of Nancy shooting at the mind flayer, it starts moving around, causing these two to start slipping. And Elle pulls out the Kevin Hart salt method and blinds bro, and she's able to sneak attack him, but all she does was throw him. Like, brother, you could have thrown an actual attack. And Elle tries to take advantage of this, but Vecna is like, nah, and throws her silly ass out of there. And Nancy gets cornered and about to get munched up, but that's when the others come in last minute for the save. and set this thing on fire. And Vecna is feeling everything right now. He does not like this anymore. And that's when Elle gets a hold of bro and is trying to finish the job, but Vecna still got a little bit of strength left in there and goes for a Hail Mary attack. But Will goes in for the block and does not allow it to happen. And he tells him, your reign of terror is done for. GG's gang. And he snaps bro's arm off. And that's when Elle finishes the job and penetrates bro. Pause. And this causes the mind flayer to fall as well. Their plans of world domination are officially over. But Vecna is still breathing and Joyce is just staring at bro. She has been waiting years for this moment and she starts chopping off his head. And while she's doing that, we get flashbacks of everything that has happened throughout this show. And she delivers the final blow. She is not trying to have a season 6. So they go back to the upside down and Dustin gives Hopper the green light to start the timer for the bomb. And we see everybody happy until they get ambushed by the military. And look at Fraud K, bro. She genuinely gets me mad. Like, why are you smiling like this? But she starts stressing because she cannot find Elle. She's nowhere to be found right now. And that's when Dustin tells Mike that she must have escaped. But then bro sees Elle at the gate. And when he starts running towards her, she takes him into the void and tells Mike that she wants him to thank everybody for being so good with her. And Mike is begging her not to leave him, but Elle gives him a smooch and tells him goodbye. And that's when Mike comes back and everybody's yelling at Elle not to do this. She do not need to go out like this. But that's when the bomb goes off and we see Elle closing her eyes, accepting her fate. And that's when she gets taken away. And when the dust clears, Elle and the gate are gone. And we see Mike shedding a singular tear. Like, oh my goodness, absolute cinema. And look, I know I've been criticizing this season a lot, but this is the finale. And Elle just got smirked, supposedly. It's very emotional, bro. I can't lie. But it's been 18 months since then, and it's graduation day. And we see Dustin giving out his speech, and bro starts dissing his principal right in front of him. And he tells the others that this is their year. And he snatches up his diploma and gives the principal the bird, just like Eddie was planning to do. And we see the young adults chopping it up, and most of them have moved out of Hawkins except Steve because he's a baseball coach. And all of them have pretty much started their own lives, but Robin says the only thing she missed about Hawkins is her friends. So they come up with a plan to meet up once a month. And we go with Hopper and Joyce, and we finally see them having their date at Enzo's. And that's when my boy pops the question. And of course, Joyce says yes. And now we go to the party, and they're playing a campaign of D&D. And these bulls was really about to get whooped. But then Dustin remembers the mage and how they can summon her at their lowest. So they do that and clutch up the win at the end. But that's when Mike starts telling the future of each character, and he says that the knight and the zoomer live happily ever after. The bard, he locks in into his studies but still has fun with his friends. And Will the wise, he moves away and finds happiness in his new home. The storyteller, he continues telling stories that have been inspired by his friends. And last but not least, the mage, she's able to escape imprisonment by the help of her sister. And the mage that they saw dying was just an illusion, and nobody knows where she went. But it's wished upon that she has gone to a beautiful land with 3 waterfalls that she calls her new home. And that's where this campaign truly ends. And Mike sees Holly and her friends playing D&D, and that just makes him crack a smile. And that's when he closes the basement door. And this is where Stranger Things season 5 comes to an end. Alright, man, this is like my 10th time trying to record this outro. I got no script for it, so I'm just freestyling, and I've been kind of just rambling, so I'm gonna try to keep this one short and simple. I want to thank y'all for watching the video. If y'all enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and if y'all want to see a specific thing that y'all want me to do, y'all know where to let me know. So I'll see you on the next one. Love y'all and peace.